Okay, so if we want to find our mean average from a group frequency table, we run into the same sort of problems that we're having before working with these groups. And to understand why we've got an issue for finding the mean, let's think about the calculation that we actually need to do with the mean. And that's add the values of all of our pieces of data together and divide them by the total number of pieces of data we have. So all of our heights divided by the total frequency is what we need to do. And we can get the total frequency, but of course we can't add together all of our height values because we don't know what the individual values are. We only know what groups they lie in. So that's not going to work finding the mean. The only way we can do that is with some actual values. So the way we're going to have to deal with this then is by coming up with some values that make sense for our groups. And the value that's going to make the most sense is going to be the value that's right in the middle of the group. Because if we imagine that all of the data was spread evenly throughout the group, that's where the group values would average anyway. So we're going to create an extra column on our table so that we can do some calculations. And the column we're going to label for the mid-class values, where class is another word for group. So we're saying the values in the middle of the group. And I just call them X. And I'm just going to call them X, so I can use that labeling a little bit later on. So we want to find the values in the middle of the group. So in the middle of 5 and 10 is what we're looking for. And if you're unsure as to how to get the middle of two numbers, the easiest way to do it, if they're harder numbers than this, would be to add the two numbers together and then divide by 2. So in this case, 5 plus 10 is 15. Divided by 2 would give us 7.5 for our first mid-class value. Similarly then, 10 to 20, the middle is going to be 15. And 20 to 30, the middle will be 25. And 30 to 50, the middle is going to be 40. So those are our mid-class values. And now effectively these two columns, we just have a frequency table. It's no longer a group frequency table effectively. We can remember from working out the mean from a frequency table, what we now need to do is multiply each value by the number of times it occurs, the frequency, and that'll get us some subtotals for calculating this mean. So we'll create another column, and this will be for the mid-class values X multiplied by each of their frequencies F. Now at this point in time I could get out my calculator and do those calculations, but I think this is a good opportunity to do some calculations by hand and look at some tricks for speeding up calculations. So 5 times 7.5 to begin with. Well, the easy way to multiply by 5 is to multiply by 10 and then divide by 2. So 7.5 multiplied by 10 gives us 75, and 75 divided by 2 is going to be, well, 70 divided by 2 is 35, and 5 divided by 2 is 2.5, so adding those two together will give us 37.5. So that's the same as 5 times 7.5 there. Let's pop that in, 37.5. Then we've got 7 multiplied by 15, so let's break up the 15. 7 times 10 is 70, and 7 times 5 is 35, so together that gives us 105. Drop that in here, 105. Then 12 times 25, looking at that, I think I'm going to break up the 12 instead into two parts. So we'll do 10 times 25 is 250, and 2 times 25 is 50. So that gives us 300 in total. And then finally, 9 multiplied by 40, well, 10 multiplied by 40 is 400. and take off one lot of 40 leaves us with 300. Ooh, let's do that in the same color. 360. So now we've got all of our subtotals multiplying each x by f. We want to get the final total value of all of our data. So adding down the columns, we've just got 1, 5 there. Then it's going to be 7 plus 5 is 12, so 2, carry the 1. 3 plus 6 plus 1 is 10, carry the 1 over. And then we've got 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 1 gives us 7, plus that one gives us 8. 802.5 is the total estimated value of our data. So we need the total value, and we need to divide it by the total frequency. So 5 plus 7 is 12, 12 plus 12 is 24, 9 plus 24 gives us 33 for our total frequency. So our final calculation for the mean then is going to be the total value, 802.5, divided by the total frequency, 33. And we will now pop that into our calculator, I think. Let's just slide that over here. So 802.5 divided by 33, and there we get an answer, 24 point, let's round that to 32. So 24.32, and our units are centimeters. So that there is our estimation for the mean.